Oh, okay. I think we are going. All right. It's currently 12:02 a.m., so I'm going to try to do this, I guess, as fast as I can. Um, this is our main Dart file is basically where we're running everything. Here's basically what we're running. Basically importing material.dart so we can run our run app and quiz.dart because quiz has the majority of our content. So coming over to quiz, we have a bunch of import statements at the top. This is going to be a stateful widget, so we're going to have two types of widgets here, or two different classes. We're going to have our base class here, and then our actual state class down here. Um, this one, pretty simple. We're just we're passing it the key it needs, and then we're basically just going to run quiz state. We're going to create state and then run quiz state. So down here, we have a list string of selected answers. This can be a constant if I wanted to. Maybe I can't. Maybe I'm lying. I'm tired. Okay. Active screen is start screen. So basically, we're just initializing the active screen. It's a variable that we're going to use later to start screen. We have a switch screen function that we implemented that basically calls a set state. So that way it actually changes the screen when we call this switch screen function. And then we're setting it equal to question screen. Um, Later on down the line, we change it to result screen, and then if we want to restart the quiz, we can go back to the question screen. And essentially, this just kind of ties to a button that we're going to implement later. All right, sick. Coming over here, widget build context. Basically, just calling the switch screen function, pass it the switch screen thing. Cool. Down here is basically just our alignment stuff, just help it look pretty. Cool. Cool. This is our identifier. Oh, this is basically a class that is going to get used by another class later. This is kind of helps at the end where it'll help kind of prettify our data. Down here is correct answer. It's basically used for the circles. So pink is going to show that it's incorrect. Red is going to show it's correct. And essentially what this is saying is if this, then this, essentially. Or if not this, then this. It's basically if it is the correct answer, show blue. If it's not the correct answer, show pink, which is it's basically just an if-else statement, but it looks fancy and pretty. Um, and then border radius circular 100 basically just makes them circles instead of squares, essentially. And then finally, we set our colors and our font. And we make the font bold so it shows up easier. Anyway, this is basically just like a helper class that we are going to import into item. And essentially what item's doing is a collection of identifiers here. And so then, yeah, that's pretty much what this class is doing. Is it's just a collection of each one of these, and it does it, I think, 6 times because we have 6 questions. That's pretty much it for that. Here's our summary screen. This thing got really cut down with the inclusion of these two. Um, Essentially, we have a size box for spacing. A single child scroll view is a widget that Flutter gives us that allows us to basically scroll. And I'll kind of demonstrate that because that's actually working. Um, yeah, anyways. Cool. Up here we have a final list. The list is of a map of string and object, and that's our basically our summary data. And essentially, we're using that to access our data here. Trying to think what else. I guess I can show the start screen. I don't think I've shown the start screen yet. Start screen is pretty simple. We're basically just importing our asset that we have here. Nope, here. Nope, I'm tired. It's somewhere. It's under like assets, images, and it's just a PNG of the quiz logo. If I bring up my emulator, it's this. Basically, we're making it transparent with this first number, and then it's fully white. So we just set it equal to 255 for all 3 values. Pretty simple. Learn Flutter the fun way, and then we have a button, and this button on press is going to run start quiz. And basically it just sets our active screen value to the quiz value. So then if we actually go, and then, I showed this already, but when we do that, it is going to send it to the quiz, to the question screen, sorry. And yeah, essentially question screen is going to record a couple of things. It's going to record the answer that we physically clicked, and then it's also going to record the correct answer that it gets, because in our questions folder, the first answer is always the correct one. So it records the correct answer by just the questions and at index 0. And then it records our questions essentially by just whichever one we click becomes our question. And so at the very end, we'll compare them. And then based on, in results screen, it will compare our data here. So our user answer versus the correct answer. And if it does, it'll add a +1 to it essentially. And then that's how we find out our number of correct questions. And yeah, so I guess kind of showing what I have working, what I don't have working. Start quiz works. I can kind of click through here, and then we get to the end. This is supposed to show content here. I had this working. The screen was working until I tried to implement the new content that he gave us, and I got to a point that it wasn't working when I typed it in, and so then I went and found the actual files that he provided, and those didn't work either. And so I'm gonna have to kind of Fajangle. I think it's a combination of the identifier.dart file, the item.dart file, and then the what's the other one? It's wherever we get this bad boy from, the question summary. So this is an issue with question summary at summary data. There's an issue with this line of code here, and then where we get it from. So I'm gonna go back here in the next coming days and get this working so I can implement my upgrades. But it's 12:09. I'm like 10 minutes late on this assignment, so I'm just gonna get this uploaded and turned in. Thank you. Sorry.